Hey guys, Rayon here again, and I'm going to bring you a new segment I like to call What, Really? Where I'm going to go through a bunch of random cards I just pulled out of binder and show you how they could be used, how you could just take random commons that you never thought were any good and they could actually turn out decent. So let's start things off with Widespread Ruin. This little trap that came out of Ancient Prophecy back in the day, not too long ago, but whatever. Basically, a continuous trap, which can or cannot be good, depends. Like, you see decrees rolling around in depressions, those aren't bad. So, what this glow gem does, select two face-up monsters on the field. When one of those gets destroyed, you destroy this card. And when this card's destroyed, it destroys the other monster. So basically, this is like a chain fissure, more or less. I can see it being great in scraps because they love to destroy their own monsters, and it doesn't really specify which monsters on the field. So, like, put this on, I don't know, some monster that you about to scrap dragon, pop that, pop their monster automatic, pop another card in the back row, this goes away, pops their monster. I can see it just comboing with some stuff. It's decent, it's a little techy, but if you really think about how to use it, it can be decent. Moving on to the next card, we have Meteor Flare. This awesome burn card that could see use in Infernities. Basically what you do is you discard two cards to activate it. If your opponent has more than 3,000 life, deals 2,000, and then during your draw phase you could just add this back to your hand by skipping your draw phase. This is great for Infernities, I cannot stress that enough. Being able to discard cards willingly is amazing for that deck. And just the fact that you're like quickly dealing out damage, like start turn 1, okay, 2k, you're already down to 6,000, go ahead, you're gonna if you want to try to Solemn Judgment me, then you'll be left with 3,000, that's barely enough to cover warnings. They're gonna oppression you, start taking them down, and like even if they're gonna try and Solemn Judgment it, okay, you just discard 2 cards from my hand. Next turn, add back to my hand, use it again. Now you're down below, so you have on Safety Line, I could just pop you for an easy attack for game. It's a really good card that I can see happening, especially from decks that like to discard, like Infernities and Dark World. And Fabled. Alright, moving up, this is what I like to call the new Heavy Storm of this format. Called Royal Flush, and there's a kitty. Hi, kitty! Anyways, basically what this does, I covered this in my last deck video, when your opponent has all 5 cards zones filled, you activate this and destroys all spell trap cards. It's like it's a little risky because you have to wait for them to have 5 to use it, but once they do, this is a great new Heartbeat's Feather Duster type thing, a great new Heavy Storm to replace the fact that we don't have Storm anymore. So next card I like because it's really, really risky. Pass of Destiny, basically what happens is both you and your opponent flip a coin. If you get a heads, then you gain then you gain 2,000 life, but if you get tails, then you lose 2,000 life. This is, I think, really great, really interesting, because like just the fact that it's flippy makes it a little iffy at first, but the fact that the flip affects both you and your opponent, and that's such a great risk to either gain or lose 2,000 life. If your opponent's going to Solemn it, then they'll be like potentially wasting more than they'd be losing with this. And if not, then you could potentially gain life, or you could deal the last blow. It's very risky, but it's a very interesting card. Alright, we got Rival Appears. By this you select one monster your opponent has that, and special summon one monster from your hand with the same level. This is awesome in format where you just see your opponent special summoning anything forever, especially if you have a deck that likes to special summon stuff. Like, I can see them having level 3 would be awesome for Rex Savers. Okay, you just say summon their Gale for a Blackwing deck, bring out a Dark Soul, bring out a Airbell, and bring out, I forgot his name, Eversblade, I think. It's just great to be able to special summon during the turn, especially with the limitation of you only get one normal. If you didn't get a combo off, they like stopped it with Depression, you'd be like, okay, bam, now face it. Next card is another great limitation card I call him. Tower of Babel you may not know about from spellcasters. This is basically anytime that your opponent activates a spell, put 1 counter on this card. When the 4th counter is played, basically whoever play that 4th spell is going to take 3,000 damage. What's so awesome about this is that you could basically limit your opponent. Like, if you're being just strategical about when you play your spells, you're basically just waiting on them to play the 4th. So, like, you go ahead, activate your Fissures, activate your Dark Holes, Reborns, whatever. Just wait till the 3 counters on here and just sit and wait. Your opponent won't activate a launcher, they won't activate their Cold Waves, won't activate their True Nades, like, just wait for their 4th thing and then it'll just take 3,000 damage. Once again, great thing to solve because it'll just waste all their opportunity. Unhacked Swords is an awesome card. Basically what this thing does, you pay 500 and you get to see everything that's face down on the field and everything in your opponent's hand. This is great because for low in this format, low life point cost of 500 life, you're basically looking at every single out that your opponent has. That way you can strategize, you can figure out what your next play is going to be, and you're not really losing anything. 500 is nothing compared to Solemnus, nothing compared to Warnings, Oppression. Just 500 is not a big cost at all. Last Trap's a little techy, but so what? It's just Gaia, you gain 3,000 life, and when it gets removed from the field, you take 3,000. It's bad about the getting removed from field, but in this protected format where you're not seeing spell traps get destroyed as much, it's alright. The reason I like this in here is that, like I keep on stressing, life points are huge in this format. We're just like paying Solemns, paying Warnings, all that fun stuff. So you're going to get yourself nice and low pretty easily. That's when you flip this. Go up 3k. You'll be nice and safe zone, you'll be able to activate your negation stuff again, you'll be able to start screaming with their life, and you'll be fine as long as you can protect it. Alright, let's be on the spells. Got Dark World Lightning. This card I'm really surprised that nobody's using. I mean, first of all, it destroys any face down card in the field. This is better than Nobleman, getting rid of stuff, just monsters is better than, like, it's basically a Grand Marg for the sake of it destroys anything face down. And it doesn't say, once again, doesn't say what side, so if you really want to take out your face downs for any reason, you can go ahead and do it. Then its cost is basically discarding afterwards, so of course, Dark World decks, anything that likes to discard, again, I'm going to keep on stressing this, Infernities, Fables, like, there's so many good deck types that like discarding. So many empty card combos, and this is great for them. Okay, we got Miracle Dig. This is like the poor man's burial from Different Dimension. If there are 5 or more monsters that have been removed from the current duel, return 3 of them to the graveyard. Like I said, burial returns 3. This does the same thing, you just have to have more monsters removed. It's great. Right, got Variety comes out. This is great for if you're running a tuner heavy deck. Basically, you return 1 synchro you control to the extra deck and special summon tuner monsters, Regrave, whose level equals that of the synchro. And basically, this means like, this is great if you want to enemy controller Brionac, discard some tuners or something to pop them, then activate this, you return the Brionac, you can get 2 tuners out, you can use this defensively, get your Gale back, get your Plague Spreader, get Air Bellums, whatever other good tuners there are now, Effect Veilers. And yeah, this is like a great control card that you can build new walls. You can't synchro with it that turn, but you can build up walls and then take their monsters next turn. This is a great thing. Great card to have. And finally, I'm not going to go over the monster in this one, because we're getting pretty close to 10 minutes, but final spell of the day is Spell Chronicle. This is the card that came out of nowhere and is completely amazing. First of all, you have to send all cards in your hand to the graveyard to activate it. Once again, Infernities. Summon your Necromancer, set whatever other things you had, activate this, send all cards in hand. You could activate your Necromancer's ability automatically or do whatever. Then for its effect, when you play it, you select and remove 5 spell and trap cards from your deck. Each time your opponent activates a spell card, place 1 counter on this card. You can remove 2 counters to add one of those cards that you remove from play back to your hand. This is insane for, like, just put it out there first turn, get rid of your resources, take out your Reborn, take out your Dark Holes, take out your True Nades and your Solemns and just anything that you want. Then just like 2 spells, they keep on going back to your hand. It's a great resource, especially for Infinities. Anyways, that's part 1. Then I still have the stack of monsters here, and I'm just gonna keep on going through my binder to take out random stuff that I think is good. But this is the first of my What Really series. I should have an Infinity deck up pretty soon. The full Infinity deck, not the combo one. I will have a binder. I'm not lying this time. I just need to actually not be lazy. Yeah. This is Rayon, and my dog is barking, so I'm going to do something now. Bye, YouTubes. Say goodbye to the kitty.